Well, good morning, Lakeland. Welcome back in our walk to Easter, where we're spending a little bit of time each morning visiting some of the places that Jesus walked and seeing some of the things that Jesus talked about and did on his way to the cross. Now, today's story is actually very unique. It's just ordinary. It's kind of normal. Even the house behind me, the ruins that are left, are not necessarily special. They're not ornate. They're not decorated. They are just what they are. But what we see in this story is that when ordinary people offer extraordinary gifts of worship, they leave a legacy of faith behind them. That's what we're going to see. So in our lives, there are chances for us to leave extraordinary legacies, but sometimes we pick ordinary. See, the house behind me is from a guy named Simon. It's in Bethany. And Jesus was visiting one time, and as they're eating and they're celebrating and they're having time together, in walks this woman. And she walks in with a beautiful jar of perfume that was so outrageously expensive that it had to be a commodity. And she walks in, and in this extraordinary act of worship, she actually pours it out on Jesus' head. This story is actually recorded all throughout the Gospels, but I want to look into Matthew 26, where we're going to see the reaction of the disciples, and more importantly, the teaching that Jesus gives us afterward. Check it out, Matthew 26. When the disciples saw this, the gift, they were indignant. They were mad. They said, "Why this waste?" they asked. "This perfume could have been sold at a high price and the money given to the poor." Now, we see in other Gospels that this was probably 300 days worth of wages. Let's call it $35,000 for today's purposes. This woman walked in with $35,000 worth of perfume and dumped it out onto Jesus in an act of worship, giving him her best. And she just dumped it out, right, in celebration. Now look at this. Aware of this, Jesus said to them, "Why are you bothering this woman? She has done a beautiful thing to me. The poor will always be with you, but you have not always had me. When she poured this perfume on my body, she did it to prepare me for burial. I tell you the truth, wherever the gospel is preached throughout the world, what she has done will also be told in memory of her." An ordinary woman in this moment being able to give an extraordinary gift of worship to her God has led to a legacy that is kept talking about. Again, this house behind me, not something that is incredibly ornate or preserved or important, but what happened inside those walls was so legacy building that even today we still talk about that gift. So let me ask you, in your life, you have acts of worship, maybe even ordinary ones, but what is God calling you to do that is extraordinary? What is God calling you to give, to worship, to do that is extraordinary, right? It's the difference between ordinary and extraordinary that makes a legacy. For some people, ordinary is saying a kind word to someone or saying, "I will pray for you." Extraordinary is having a conversation to build somebody up. Extraordinary is stopping right then and praying for the person that is in front of you. See, too often we pick ordinary because we feel like we can't be extraordinary. But this woman shows us that we can do normal things with all of our heart that can leave a legacy in the faith of ourselves and the people around us. So today your challenge is this: be on the lookout for extraordinary. Be on the lookout for extraordinary. I'm praying right now, and you can join me in praying that God would give you a chance that is too good to pass up, to be an extraordinary worshiper of him, to leave a legacy that will echo not only through your faith journey, but into the journey of those around you. Because again, this is an ordinary house with an ordinary woman doing something that was pretty ordinary, except she did it with everything that she had. Today, find something that you can worship with in an extraordinary way to leave a legacy of your faith. And we will see you back here tomorrow morning as we continue walking in Jesus' footsteps and learning more about where he was heading along the way. Thanks for jumping in. We hope you share this, and we will see you very soon.